therapy session, dealing with pain and obsession. Why do we lie? Why do we try to hide everything until the day we die? Welcome to Therapy Session. We're back in the house of DNA, and today I have with me again ISSO AI. What's up?
All good?
How was your day?
A lot already.
What does it mean a lot? What have you done?
A lot of work, housework.
Housework, okay. Why housework though? You're a rapper though. What do you do housework for?
You gotta keep it clean.
Okay. Okay. So tell me, what have you been up to besides, sorry for my voice, I couldn't sleep the last days, but I'm trying to go back into sleep.
We talk in English.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what we do though.
That's fine. I just thought for some reason we're gonna speak German.
No.
It's fine, totally.
It's just
cool.
English.
Mm-hmm.
You're not what is it called now? You're not happy if we talk English?
No, I'm happy. It's all good. It's just I'm native German, but we can talk English.
Okay.
Sure.
Okay. Where did you learn English?
Gangster rap made me do it. No shit. I mean, I sucked in school in English classes.
Okay.
My teacher set me apart from everybody the first year, and
Because you were not good?
yeah, I was chatting away, I guess,
Okay.
and that didn't help me to learn English. So my school English wasn't good, and then the hip hop music improved it a lot.
Okay. So thanks to music, you got better knowledge in the language. That's
Definitely.
great, man.
I would say so.
That's great. Okay, tell me about yourself. Who are you? Why are you doing this? And what
Yes.
are you exactly doing?
So I go by the name of Agent ISSO, and I rap. I make rap music mainly in German, a little bit in English in the meanwhile, and occasionally make a beat here and there.
Okay.
I like to perform on stages. It's always between the studio and the stage for me. And yeah, recently I was playing beats for the cypher we did here at DNA.
Okay. Yeah, I remember. I was there.
I'm not a DJ though, but I mean,
Sometimes you can be.
I did a radio show for 7 years, did over 350 live shows with a lot of DJs, so I could learn from them.
Okay.
And I'm more a selector in that role, I would say. But for me, it's all about the music. So that was fun.
Okay, so let's start with the rap. How long you been rapping now?
The one or the other decade.
Okay. No, the other.
Yeah, I mean, I started in the youth, so
Okay.
I'm in my 30s. So
In your 30s now?
Yeah.
How old are you exactly?
33 just turned.
33. Okay, so when did you start exactly? How old were you?
I guess 20 years ago. Yeah.
20 years
How old are
ago.
you, by the way?
I'm now 36. I keep forgetting. Yeah, about 36. Okay, how did you start with the rap thing? Because I personally started with most of the rappers like by poems. I was writing poems, and at some point I wanted to have a music in the background and just went into rap, especially when I listened to Tupac.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Tupac was a very early and very big influence for me too. They pumped that everywhere in the hood. I don't know if I really wrote poems. I mean, maybe for the birthday to some relatives to bring them some joy, but not really regularly. And I started scribbling, started writing lyrics, raps when I was 13. And yeah, it was rap which empowered me and that made me feel good and made me feel like, hey, I can do something. And I still stick to it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what have you done besides the rap during that time? Because I'm guessing that you were not completely focused on the rap for 2 decades, right?
It was pretty much the main thing which was circulating in my head.
Okay.
But I went through the education system like school, did Abitur, I mean 2 Abiturs. Now I'm at the university still. Um, I did some audio engineering classes because I didn't know what else to do, and I wanted to make myself a package with which I can find work, but it's also useful for what I do.
Okay.
Yeah, but it was mainly rapping, and with 15, 16, the radio show uh, came in between. I would say helped me back from the music a bit. I mean, from my own making my own music.
What do you mean with radio show?
I had a radio show from 2006 to 2013 at a local
Wow.
radio station in Ulm called Radio Free FM. The show was called U Beats.
Okay.
And I did everything there, moving the faders, inviting guests, interviewing them, playing the music, freestyling everything simultaneously. And it was cool. The motto of the radio station was "Kein Kommerz auf Megahertz, no commerce on megahertz."
Okay.
So I could play everything. I could say everything, play everything what is not on the index.
Were you also playing your own music?
Rarely,
Yeah.
yeah.
You didn't take advantage
The
of the
thing is,
position.
I didn't have it yet. I mean, I had written already a lot. I had quite a few songs already, but I never had the chance or didn't make it to record and mix it. So I didn't have the output to play it. So what I did was basically before my first real release, which was my first album, when I invited the DJs at some point during their set, during the live set, I asked them, "Hey, can you play any beat I can
Rap
freestyle
Okay.
on? Yeah, I can rap on." And then I did it one take on air and took the radio recordings, cutted it out, gave it to my DJ. Shout out to DJ Far One, who then mixed my first mixtape, Rumble in the Jungle.
Nice.
Yeah, because the audio quality
Rumble
was
in the
a
Jungle.
rocky road.
Okay.
And yeah, the first album finally came after I stopped the radio show.
Okay. So, how old were you when you started the radio show?
15.
15. How long did you work there?
Until 2013. So it's 7 years,
Wow.
roundabout.
Okay. So you've been there for how long?
7 years? Or 350 live shows, 2006
Wow.
to 2013.
Ah, okay, okay. I thought you said whatever. It's my mind sometimes. Not enough sleep doesn't help you to think straight. So, okay. So did this like inspire you to do more music while you were at the radio station?
For sure, but it took a lot of time because you need to prepare. I made a new playlist every week. Seldomly played any song twice. Then the whole evening goes into that radio show. My weekend started from Thursday since I was 15.
Okay.
And so every exam I had to write on Fridays in school, I didn't perform that well.
Okay.
Especially if it was math class in the first 2 hours, in the first two lectures. So it took a lot of time in preparation, and then also
Oh
afterwards.
yeah, no. If it inspired you to do more music, this was the question.
Thank you, thank you. Yes, certainly did, because I got so many influences from all these people who came to the radio show, who came to U Beats, and but for making my own music, it held me back a bit because I invested so much time into the radio show, like 10, 20 hours every week. Like about 10 hours every week to prepare, do the radio show, and then get the recording, cut it together. And so it was necessary afterwards to step back from this radio thing. I also didn't cut up all the radio shows. I did about 350, and I cut up about 150, which are online on mixcloud.com/ubeats with U and TZ. So it definitely inspired me to become better, but you can not do two things at the same time. So at that time, I was mainly doing this radio thing, and the music always suffered a bit under this. And when I stopped it finally, then I had more time for my own music, and then
You
I made
got
it
into
too.
it then.
Yeah.
Okay, but wasn't it like that? Like, because I had many jobs, and most of my jobs I had, like back then, it was just an MP3 player on a disc. So talking like when I was, I don't know, 12, 13. So I just had an MP3 player on a disc. Like there was no USB thing, and I had some cheap beats on that. And while I was working, I had one headphone on, and I was trying to write stuff on it to it. Of course, like at every job that I went to, at some point, like I got fired because they were like, "You're not focused on the job." But have you not done something like that while you're at the radio station, forgetting to click the next play song?
Certainly, something like that
Okay.
similar happened. I also had even a Walkman with
Yeah, man,
cassettes
I remember that.
from my father, and then later also the mobile disc player.
Yeah,
Also had that one, and then the MP3 players later, and yeah, some holiday jobs I did certainly also suffered because of some studio sessions we did in the night before. Yeah, I remember one time I worked in a store, and 2 times of my probation time.
yeah.
Two,
Sounds
2 times of my probation time, I was a little bit late, like 15 minutes or 20 minutes. And then after this probation time of 3 months, the boss said, "Well, I will not extend your your time here because
There's the door. Just walk out of it and don't come back.
no." He was like, "Maybe you find your profession in the music. I
Okay.
hope for you. I hope that it works for you." But of course, I had the full understanding because money doesn't wait. So in the business, you cannot be late, not even 15 minutes.
Yeah.
In music, you have that typical musician illness to be 5 minutes late or 15 minutes late. But this is not how business works.
No, definitely not. I mean, in the music industry, some people are late and they assume they have something important right now to do. That's why they're late. So they were like, maybe he's somewhere right now stuck because of he has to get out some autographs or whatever.
Yeah,
I mean, for
well,
musicians, it's normal to come late. That's the thing.
I think there's also different cultures.
Yeah.
Like Germans are very punctual. I mean, used to be.
Used to be, though. Used to be.
Yeah, you gotta say used to be.
It's not like that anymore. Too many foreigners in this country, so they just looked at, oh, like, we could do it like that too.
You said that.
Yeah, I know. I can say that. It's a good thing, right?
I don't know if you can say that.
Why not?
You
It's
can say
like-
what you like.
Of course I can. I mean, like, you have to look at it like this. I grew up in the 90s and we said whatever we came to our minds. Like nowadays, you cannot say everything. But some things, if you have a certain color, you can still say. So that's a good thing for me, though.
It's a different topic if you, yeah.
Yeah,
But
no,
I grew up with almost only foreigners. So
so now you know how it is to be in this crowd and they say random shit and you're just like, yeah, okay.
yeah, no, I mean,
It's fun, though.
I'm the Kartoffelausländer.
Kartoffel. Which makes no sense because, like,
It's American.
no, I mean, like, the Dutch
potato?
people are more, they had more potatoes than
Ah,
German.
okay.
Like, because once I was in school and I said that, I was upset about something. I was like,
But wasn't
"Deutsche
there
Kartoffel."
the story here in Berlin in Lustgarten, in the Lust Garden,
Which one?
this potato story? I cannot repeat it, but there's a
No, I don't
famous
know.
story which happened there that they buried the potatoes there. And
I don't.
but I
don't
think
know
you
that.
say that in general about Europeans, I guess.
I
Or
just
also
know, like,
Americans, but
the way I grew up was just like the Germans are like the potatoes. I didn't get it first, and then I asked, and then at some point I was mad about something, and I told someone in my class, "Do Deutsche Kartoffel," and then there was a Dutch girl, and she was like, "Do you actually know that we have more potatoes than the German people?" Okay.
they also have tulips.
Then I stopped saying that to the German people, though. I was
I
like,
think
it makes no sense.
You also say that to Americans, so or you can like maybe it's just for white people.
I have no idea. I mean, potatoes are quite yellow, though. they have a brown
Right.
skin.
Yeah. Well,
Okay, like we're drifting off topic right now.
a bit.
Um, Tell me about your music. What kind of music is it? What's the content of your music?
It's conscious rap, so a little bit of a niche of the hip hop culture. And yeah, I think it helps to take a listen. So the stage name or the artist name is everywhere the same. You find me with Agent ISSO. It's spelled ISSO, Agent ISSO. And I guess I'm on all the big platforms. So I just put out my fourth album end of last year called Sinvasion, which is a wordplay between two words. The first is meaning, purpose, and the other one is invasion. I had that album title more than 2 years ago already, so before the recent conflicts and wars started. So it's not about what happened in these recent times, but certainly it is about topics like peace, love, and so
Okay.
on.
So it's about more peace overall in the world generally and love. Like this is what the topic is about in the content, right?
Yeah, pretty much, I guess.
How or what did inspire you to go for this for this project like that?
I mean, there is a lot of things going wrong in the world, and therefore my lyrics often are socio-critical.
Okay.
And I wanted to make an album like that I have something I can show, which is my 2 cents, maybe, and which is something hopefully constructive. Yeah.
But it was like you have you yourself suffered from something that you come up with this, or is it just like the overall intake of the world and then you get inspired from it? Which one is it?
Both.
Okay.
So, in the first place, I would say the second, influenced by the world, but definitely I also was heißt verarbeiten?
Like you just work on something emotionally.
Yeah, definitely. I convert some suffering into hopefully positive energy and express my story, what I went through, and what I took from it, and what I learned from it, and maybe somebody can take something out of it to approach life in a way which makes them suffer less.
Okay. How do you approach your your uh your projects? Like is it you think of some things and then you make a list and then you write it down and you say this is what I'm going to do with this album, or is it just like randomly comes to you? Because for me it's sometimes I just have some words in my head and I just write it down and then the rest comes along and then I pick out a beat, or sometimes I just have a certain feeling, feel for example down or up or whatever, and then I'm looking for a certain beat and then I write to it. How do you approach it?
Yeah, I would say very often very similarly to
Okay.
you. I have an idea or I have something I want to write about, and it always starts with an idea usually, or I just sit down for a session, pick a beat, or try to catch a vibe, and then ask myself, what does that vibe tell me? What does that beat speak to me? And yeah, try to surprise or try to uh, make something beautiful.
Okay. I like the name Invasion. It's like when I saw it, I had like first of all like because I think you showed me before the album was released. You also showed me the artwork, which I like because you said a friend of yours did it.
Yes, Liam Becher, shout out, all true crew.
Yeah, all true crew. exactly. So I like the artwork and I like the name. And before you released anything, you know what my interpretation was of the name?
What was
It
it?
was like some, it will be some content about aliens coming down to Earth. Like this is
That's
like,
funny. Yeah, it's
yeah,
cool.
because like when you said this, like I had some like bouncy beats in my head. Invasion is like the aliens come down and they just, it will be just some random madness shit that you will write down.
Well, we certainly all get alienated by the madness of the world.
Yeah.
We all have the evil within us, I guess. It's what Hannah Arendt told us, I think,
Okay. I don't know.
taught us. And yeah, I try to find the good in myself and the good in others, and enable that or amplify that to overpower the evil.
Yeah, like when I listened to it, the content was much deeper than I assumed. Because the way I assumed it is, you remember Jimmy Neutron, the cartoon, the guy with the big forehead.
I think I saw it one or two times, but just zapped into it, and I never really watched that TV
Okay,
series.
I used to watch it as a child, and he was an inventor, and then he had an enemy, like in a very funny way, who was a alien. So this came somehow into my mind when I was like reading the name of the album. I was like, okay, this will be some Jimmy Neutron shit, but it was much more serious than that, though.
Yeah, it definitely is serious, but I still try to make it comprehensible, and that's like snackable content, or like that you can listen through. Not all songs are easy listening though, but yeah, it's I guess it's my deepest album so far.
Okay,
It won't be my most personal album, but
it's a
yeah,
part of you, though.
it's my deepest one, and the one with the most recent lyrics
Okay,
I have so far
okay,
out yet.
yeah. Is it like, do you drop song by song, or do you drop the whole project together? How do you approach these things?
Well, this time I tried this waterfall technique, so I released 8 singles. Every week one single, because I still wanted to release it in 2023, and I was late. I'm a late bloomer, ein
Okay.
Spätzünder, like the title of my first album. And yeah, I will start with the next one soon. I still want to drop some videos. I mean, I just dropped a video to a song of Invasion, to the song Superheld, Superhero, which is pretty much the story of an anti-hero.
Okay.
And I have one more coming. Need to finish it, and we'll put it out soon, because the first single of the next release is already ready. It's
Okay.
already mastered. So we'll also upload that soon, and that one will come. I think I can say this quarter. Yeah,
Okay.
this quarter
So
definitely.
you're still working on it.
And this time I think I won't release every week, because that's obviously way too frequent. But I got quite a couple of songs stacked up from the past, and I still want to release them. I still stand behind them and add some new music to it too. So maybe I will go with like every 2 weeks or something, or maybe once a month. But I won't let you wait for long for the next release. The next release will be called Isotope.
Oh, that's nice.
Isodope.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
That's nice. One thing I have to say before I forget is, like, you sometimes in your rap songs you take a word and you, how can I say the best way? Like, you repeat this word with a lot of different meanings then to it. Like you,
It's a spit.
yeah, but I think Lil Wayne had one or two songs where he took just one word and then he repeated this, but with different sentences at the end. So it had always a different meaning.
Yeah.
That's what I like perceived from a few of your songs. Don't ask me about the names. I'm not good with songs. That's why I just give people random names, because that's how I remember them. But like you like to do or have this word play with one word, right?
Yeah,
Is it
it's
like
called
fun
this.
for you to do it like this, or what is it?
It's to play with the language is fun. Yeah. First of all, I'm thankful and happy that you obviously listened to so much music of me
Yeah,
so
of
far
course. I
already.
have to pay attention to everyone, though.
Yeah, no, it's cool. Thank you. Yeah, I like to play with the language. I have some of these so-called spits in my lyrics. Yeah, I think it was Kusavage and Echo Fresh who did that first in German rap
Okay.
with Bitte Spitte, and but that's just a rhetorical tool, I would say.
Mm. I have to be very honest. Like my brother, I said it also in the first episode, I think. My brother used to, at some point when German rap came along, he used to listen to a lot of German rap. Me, never. Like, it wasn't my thing.
What did you listen to? Like
It
what
was
was your favorite?
more,
You mentioned Tupac before.
yeah, it
I
was
must say
just
we.
like, I would say, like, so we came to Germany in 96. And for I would say for a decade, I was just listening. Like also all the other things around him, I was listening to Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, and Eminem, and so on and so forth. But like the most music that I listen to till this day is Tupac's.
Yeah,
Like,
Tupac was a huge influence. They, like I said before, they pumped that everywhere
yeah,
in my hood, in my district. And in the beginning, I didn't listen to too much Tupac because I found it weird how he pronounced
really,
some lines.
okay,
Yeah, especially when he stretches some word. Like,
yeah, okay,
but over the years, I understood how big and influential he was. And in the meanwhile, I also I I guess I pretty much know all his catalog, and he has like so many things, and they're so well produced. And he was actually also a conscious rapper, no?
definitely, yeah. That was the thing. Like,
Yeah,
this was one of the main things why felt drawn to him
yeah,
because of the content of the lyrics. Like back then, there was no internet like now to get the lyrics. So I
yeah,
had to ask a friend of a friend of a friend who had internet at home and ask him to get some lyrics for me
yeah,
because back then I was just listening to the music and my English wasn't that well. So I was writing down words
yeah.
that had no meaning at all because I was looking up in the dictionary. I was like, this word doesn't exist. What is he saying though?
So can you give me your your top list? Like you have some top 5 or top
No,
7 or
it's
whatever, top 10?
all of the albums.
No, no, no. I mean of
Our top
artists.
five rappers.
Artists. Yeah.
The first five are Tupac. That's for sure.
I thought it's just
No,
Tupac.
it is Tupac, but like the name is Tupac Amaru Shakur, so it's already three.
That's
And
three
then if
names.
you take his original name was which is Leash and Paris Crooks, that will be six though. But like, I have to say something else. Like, since I'm married, my my whole place looks different. Back then, everything in my living room it wasn't a living room; it was more a studio, studio for art and for music and stuff. And when my wife moved in, she was like, "Okay, we have to change the whole place." So this is what we did. Now I preserved the part of my studio in there. The rest looks like a living room. Anyhow, I had all these Tupac albums, the singles, the DVDs, and so on and so forth, and I had to just like put them in a box and put them underneath the bed. So I think it was last week. I told my wife like I cannot just leave it underneath the bed. Like this is like pure gold. I have to do something with it. And she was like, "Okay, what do you want to do with it?" Now I'm working on framing, like making a big frame for all the singles and the albums, and just have it on the wall so it keeps inspiring me because it's one of the best things ever. Like it doesn't matter what kind of music I listen to today, till this day is I'm just going back to each album and I just go through the music. And top five, where does top five? There's really, like I said, no top five, but the people that I'm listening to is like everyone else. I think is Kendrick, is J Cole, um, and then Dr. Dre. The music is a classic. Then who else do we have? Corday. I like Corday.
Oh yeah, he's fresh.
Yeah, I like his music. And who else is there? I don't know. Help me with the names though.
It depends. I also don't have it in the mind, because I'm a cyborg. So I have that somewhere written down because I like to discuss that question though. Um, so
I
you,
love LL Cool J.
yeah,
Yeah, man.
he has what? How many albums? 19, 20, over 20 albums.
I have no idea, but of course Eminem. If we like
He's his role model, right?
Eminem,
Eminem's favorite rapper is
yeah,
LL Cool J, and they collabed already.
yeah,
Yeah,
and
that's
like I mean
beautiful to see.
Eminem is a wordsmith, like with this rhyme techniques and everything. Because once I had a conversation with someone who was like we were talking about the best rappers, and I was like, it's everyone's opinions, but in my opinion, it's like Tupac, and then he was like, no, just listen to the Eminem songs. I was like, I'm fully with you, but like he's using something completely different than Tupac does. Like,
Absolutely.
and on that topic, like I love Hobson. You know
Oh
Hobson?
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Saw him live
Yeah.
in Czech Republic on the hip hop camp festival.
Nice.
He was crowd surfing, standing.
Nice. Okay.
Like it just looked like he's hovering like
Over the people. Yeah, I know.
hovering like a Jesus or something.
Nice.
I don't know. Yeah, but it's, he has a crazy energy.
And I love his song Nolly Tray Flip. Like is one song that he has wrote about a skateboard trick. It's called Nolly Tray Flip. So the hook line is just like Nolly Tray flipping on the block straight, cruising, tray. It's really cool. You have to listen to this.
Sounds good, yeah.
And I like Token. I don't know if you know Token.
Sure. I'm a hip hop nerd.
Oh, okay, great.
Yeah, Token is he's kicking it really hard.
Yeah. Sometimes he gets too aggressive while he is freestyling on the Sway show or whatever.
You
but
think? For you, it's too aggressive.
he's just like sweating a lot and getting too much. He turns red, but like
Yeah, he's not catching a break, right?
no, he's just like it's like his lung is getting pumped from behind. So
For me, is I need at some point I need some more relaxing vibe. He's always hitting the gas, like I said.
definitely.
Yeah. No, I have a top 5, top 7.
Oh, you wrote it down?
Yeah, I wrote it down because
Wow, okay.
I never remember it, and I don't like that when I'm talking about it that
You don't know it.
that I never can say
Who it
pay
is.
respect to the names.
Okay.
Yeah. So I have Tupac in my studio hanging on a picture too,
Interesting.
painted by Liam Becher also.
Okay.
So my top list goes like this, I would say. So no order. It's just the top 5 or top 7 of American rappers. There is Busta Rhymes in there.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
There's Mobb Deep, which I count as one.
Of course, yeah.
In the meanwhile, unfortunately, it is also only one person. Rest in peace, Prodigy. Havoc is still making music, but like as one group, one.
But it's
artist.
amazing that he still does though. Like
Yeah,
it's like I know many groups when one of them died, like they just stopped making music. But
and I'm so blessed that I saw them also on the Hip Hop Camp Festival in Czech Republic, just half year or a couple of months more before Prodigy died, and it was one of the best.
Rest in peace to the soul, man. He was like also immaculate on the microphone when he started.
Yeah, and the beats are so good.
Definitely.
Like I like them so much. So that's on my top list, and then of course also Eminem. He's lyrically
unmatched.
Yeah, I mean he's unique.
Yeah,
but
I mean, like
I wouldn't say unmatched because there is other lyricists in the game who also play on his level. But
I mean, the way, like, you know, Crooked Eye, right?
Yeah, King Crooked.
Yeah, I mean, like the way they wordplay with some things, I'm like this is amazing. Like, I mean, when they made Slaughterhouse, it was the perfect dream team. Like,
well, there were some really good people in there.
Yeah,
really good artists in there.
Royce the 5'9".
Royce the 5'9" is incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, have you heard this song about his father, Cocaine?
Yeah, of course.
Man, it gave me goosebumps. Yeah. Like it was the most emotional song I heard that year. It was like, wow. Yeah. So okay. So Busta Rhymes, Mobb Deep, Eminem, Tech 9.
Oh,
I would
yeah,
say
of course, yeah.
technically he from a lyrical
Definitely,
perspective he's on Eminem's level.
Definitely.
But yeah, sure, Eminem is lyrically probably the best who ever did it.
Yeah, but I mean, he was studying the whole dictionary though. Like,
Yeah, people say. Yeah,
that's what he said. He was like, he just was sitting down and then he just did it.
yeah, certainly reading through to extend his vocabulary more.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I have Ludacris
Oh yeah,
because I love his
Ludacris.
style, and not just because he
Definitely. He's
appeared
just
on the,
cool, man.
not
He's
just
just
because he appeared on the Super Bowl recently. Really, I have him since also. I have all the albums and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, and this is like the top 5 I have.
yeah.
But as you cannot leave Pac and Biggie out
No,
because
definitely
yeah.
not.
So to make the full list, of course, you have to put
Those
Tupac
two
and
into-
Notorious B.I.G.
Yeah.
in there too. So I cannot limit it to 5. I have to make a magic 7. So
But
that's
you know-
for the US. And then of course there's so many other artists. But tell me,
You
what
know that number 7 is like psychologists say that I think is what people can is the magic number that people can remember things, like they can always remember 7 things.
6 to 7 chunks.
Yeah.
In the Arbeitsgedächtnis, in the
Working-
working memory,
Yeah.
in the short-term memory.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then yeah.
So
Yeah,
we
6
keep
to
it at
7
6.
chunks. Most
We-
people.
We
There's-
should have like the top 10, not always top 5, because it's very hard to decide on.
Yeah.
Because I mean, Ludacris, I love Ludacris because also of the music videos that he had, like when he had to stand up, the music,
Mm.
oh, where he had this big hands, big foot, whatever. It's so hilariously funny.
Yeah.
I love this, like, or when he had just like, he's in the, I don't know which music video is it, where he is taking a piss on the toilet. There's a huge hand on the wall, and then he's slapping someone with it. Like, it's
Yeah.
too funny.
I mean, for me, it's my youth, so it's also a long time ago since I intensively listened to him so much.
okay.
But I still love it. And I just a few days ago, I listened through a bunch of Ludacris tracks again, and yeah, it's funny stuff with all the gimmicks he brings into it. But for me, it mostly was like the flows he got.
Definitely, yeah.
Like he's so versatile with flows, like almost nobody else on this list like this. Maybe Busta, but
Definitely. Also, Busta was also always very animated with the head bumps with a goat or whatever. It was also so funny, man. And
Yeah.
you know what I thought about today? I thought about like that many rappers could be just comedians. They have a very funny side to them, like, but it's like we never made it to be comedians, so we became rappers. So it was my thought today. Like,
yeah, I mean, to be a comedian takes a little bit of different things, I guess. You
yeah,
you gotta
definitely.
be
but-
funny all the time, right? And rappers, I mean, MCs, we're also in the entertainment branch, so it's all entertainment, and so you need to entertain, you need to maintain, you need to, you know, make the people laugh or
Yeah.
entertain them, and this is also what comedians do. But I think it's a different approach, and in rapping, MCing, it's maybe a bit more serious, which should not. It's not meant as devaluing comedy.
No, definitely.
like,
I get it. Yeah.
It's like we don't have to be funny all the time. Maybe
Yeah.
we have to say something, right?
Definitely. That's
And-
why I'm
and
thinking like
comedians also say something. If it's cabaret or something, it's
Mm.
also politically. Then they definitely also say something. But in the first place, they're funny.
yeah, definitely. But what I thought about today is
Supposed to be.
because what I thought of, like this came into my mind because I was watching some Eminem videos and he's funny, but he's not laughing about it. He's just like making some random jokes or making some random mimics on his face or whatever. It's like a failed comedian who decided to become a rapper is like, fuck it. I'm going to take a different route now.
Yeah, I think it's more of a coping mechanism that he deals with things with humor, and
Yeah. Also.
says some serious things which people perceive as jokes, but he's that serious. And
Yeah, I know,
he's
yeah.
just saying it with a
Straight face, yeah.
with a, how you say, twinkling eye, or
Yeah.
yeah. So I have more names on that list. I mean, it's kind of a unfair advantage.
No, not
but-
twinkling eye, you mean winking.
but I'm sure you know probably all of them too.
Yeah.
So just want to name drop a few to
Do it.
give maybe people who listen to us here or see it some inspiration what they could listen to in hip hop. Like you asked me before the podcast, or I asked you, what will you ask me? And you said, yeah, just some questions like, what's my inspiration? And then people always want to know what you're listening to, and I have that list so I can answer that properly and not just drop one or two names which I listened to recently, but not give you like a good picture.
Okay.
So I have also J. Cole and Kendrick Lamar pretty much on top of that when it goes further than the top 7. Then there's some more lyricists which are crazy good. You got to check out Corey Guns.
I know him.
He came through Lil Wayne. JID or Jid. Khan, you spell it Kaan. He just dropped a new album a week ago. I already listened through like 3 times. It's really good. Locksmith, one of the best lyricists in the Bay. Or, Black Thought, the frontman of The Roots. Lil Wayne, I mentioned already. Nasir Jones, Nas. The Game, Ice Cube, Mos Def, Snoop Dogg, Method Man, Exhibit, Joyner Lucas, Harry Mack, who's eventually the best freestyler ever. Logic, Master Ace, maybe some guys from UK too, like Dizzy Rascal. I listened to very early. Meanwhile, there are so many more. Ocean Wisdom, and then maybe of course also DMX. I'm gonna round it up with that. DMX was like he
Pure
could have been the
energy.
next Tupac.
It was the pure energy. This guy. All the names that you just mentioned, like I love them all. Is you cannot keep it like that's what I'm saying. Like stupid to say a top 5 or top 10 or whatever, because
It's just the tip of the iceberg I mentioned. Like
because there are so many and they all influence hip hop, rap. Everyone does it. Like everyone who does music is a part of it. You cannot just say this person, that person, or whatever, because at some point they all. I think I'm repeating myself. Sleep deprivation is all a part of. Like you cannot say, and I'm just sticking to these 5. It's not possible though. Like truly, I'm listening mostly to Tupac's music, but I also listen to all the other artists that you just mentioned. It's just this influenced by them. And the funny thing is, I do music, but it's completely different than to the music that I'm listening to. It's always like that, right? How about you with that? Like, you just mentioned all these names.
what other music I listen to? Or?
No. I mean, like the music that you're listening to is not the music that you make.
For sure.
So you take all these inspiration in, because some people tell me, okay, but if you're listening to Tupac's music 24 hours, why is your music so different? Like, because I'm not.
I hear his influence in I hear his influence in your music.
Yeah,
I mean,
my
at least in that one song.
Which one?
I keep forgetting the name of it. Like, but it had a cadence like 1, 2, 3, up with me.
I was at the end. Yeah, I just put it in there, just like it came in perfect.
But then it's more like a quote.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I changed the content a bit, but like I took the flow of it definitely. But like I don't have this energy that he does. Like I have a different type of energy. So everyone is different. So
no, of course you have your unique own style.
And that's what I'm telling some people. I'm like, you cannot assume that just because I'm listening to this music, that the content is the same. And even if it was, I'll be just a copy of it. Like, what's the point of it?
Most of the day I'm not listening to hip hop. Like I listen to pretty much every genre, probably except Schlager and Schranz. Schranz is some hardcore version of some techno.
Heard this one before, though.
Yeah, it's some numb version, numb style or hardcore version of some techno stuff. I love techno. Like there's so good techno, which is so good, especially in Berlin. They have a lot, but Schranz is too primitive for me. And Schlager is not speaking to me in some way. It's too soft. Maybe it's
horrible.
It's for the older generation. Maybe it's beautiful.
No, man. It's also younger generation. I like at work. I talked to someone, and I was just like, "What kind of music do you listen to?" She was like, "Schlager," and I took it as a joke. I was like, "Oh, me too." And then she was like, "Really?" Because I'm listening to this artist. Yeah, I thought you were making a joke. She was like,
We
no,
are not
really.
the same.
Now going back to your music, how much of it do you produce yourself?
So I get beats from different producers. I connect it in the radio time. And when I moved to Munich for 2 years, I connected some people there. And in Berlin, of course, you can also connect easily. But I also make beats by myself because I just wanted to be independent and not have to rely on anybody for making a project. And I don't know the exact number of like how many songs are out on my own beats and how many out are
No,
on
there's
other
not.
beats. But I would say I pick 70-80% from other people, from
Okay.
other producers, and 20% roughly maybe
It's yours.
is on my own beats. Yeah.
Okay. Why, just out of interest, why is it that you take from other producers?
Well, I mean, for me, it all started with rapping, with writing lyrics.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, the first thing was breakdance, b-boying.
I think most of us been through that.
Yeah, we were in the cellar with the friends of my brother, and we're b-boying there. And I did it for maybe half a year or something. Then I realized, okay, I'm growing a lot.
Yeah.
As I mean, my body grows a lot.
Yeah.
I'm a bit tall and therefore not so flexible, and maybe it's not for me. Yeah, then it was rapping pretty soon after that. And but as this is the main thing for me still, I also always saw it as a full-time thing. I mean, I really focus and get deeply into it, and then it's a matter of time. I just simply don't find the time and the patience also a bit for sitting down and
Making the beats.
yeah. I mean, composing is incredibly complex too. It's so much fun. I love to do it. I eventually like it more than writing lyrics, but I still write more and rap more,
Yeah.
perform more than I'm making beats and produce. Yeah, but maybe that will shift at some point because I have some topics I want to work through and some things I want to work through from my past to get through it. And once I set it and once I have that out in the world, maybe I will say, okay, not that I don't have anything to say, but I freed myself already and I said what I need to say. And then there is no need to keep yapping, keep blah, blah, blah. Like, so I want to let the music speak. And yeah, maybe in the future I will produce more than I rap, but I have maybe this 7 albums or whatever. And after that, I say, okay, I can make a rap song, a single occasionally here and there if I have some really great idea or if I really need to get something off my chest. But I put out the 4th release now, 2 or 3 more definitely coming. And after that, maybe I want to try something different. I mean, maybe an instrumental album or something.
Yeah. Maybe you come up with the next Invasion album like the way I said it, though.
Which way?
Just like trippy, like aliens coming down to Earth and taking over everything. Who knows?
Yeah, finding an alter ego or finding
yeah, for example, though.
Yeah.
Would be funny.
I have some ideas already for that. But yeah.
Because for me, like, I love producing beats. I love writing and love rapping. And the last singles that I dropped, actually an album, but I just dropped like each one of them as a single.
Yeah.
Most of them I didn't produce because it's time consuming, like to sit down and produce a beat and then write to it, and then it's a back and forth. Like the first album that I did was fully produced by myself, and
same.
It took a year for me to put the lyrics down because it was producing, rapping, mixing, mastering, and then producing was like this the whole time. So it was
Yeah, for me too. I mean, I
exhausting.
picked beats, but I mixed everything myself in the end.
Yeah, it's a good thing, but it's not easy though. Like time wise, it's not easy.
Yeah. Yeah, you have to delegate at some point, and I'm so happy that over the time I find more and more people who can help. Like now, finally, I have a guy. I hope I can stick to him, who mix and masters for me. Not that I mean, I still pre-mix it or still make a rough mix and so on, but and also want to accompany the mixing process. I'm a bit like Kendrick in there, like I.
You sit down with the guys and say, no, this is how
Yeah,
I
well,
want.
not yet because I don't know him so well yet, not so long yet. But this is pretty much my approach. Like I
Yeah.
want to have control over every
I know what you
step
mean.
of the
Yeah.
process.
Yeah.
But we go back and forth. Like he sent me some, and I tell him, "Hey, can you change this detail, that detail?" He does, and he does it well. And I'm so happy that it saves me so much time. It makes my workflow so much easier. It lets me focus on the creative part more, and that was really freeing. And I think I sped up by 2x.
Nice.
Like if I didn't have him, I would eventually put out Sinvasion this summer, but it's out since December now, and I think with him I can bring the next long player this year.
Nice.
Yeah.
That sounds great. So, how many songs are left now for this year to drop? Besides the one that you already work on, like the ones that are finished, how many songs are finished?
Well, I have this one single mixed and mastered, finished completely, which I will drop after I round up the
The rest.
things for Sinvasion.
Okay.
I have one video left. I need to finish and to drop, and then I will release the first single. I haven't really like it's still in the process. It's still changing. It's a moving target, but the idea is to make something like a double release, isotope, isodope, and I have a lot of projects. I don't know how many projects will end up on the release in the end.
Yeah.
But I have enough for a long player or for 2 long players, and that will, if everything goes well, come out this year. I mean, eventually this quarter already, and yeah, that will add to the catalog of the 4 existing albums which are out already. First one is called Spätzünder, like I said, the late bloomer, because it took me so long to come with the first release, which was due to the radio show I did for 7 years, which held me back. And then it took me 10 years to finally come with that first album. And it wanted to be a bomb, so the Spätzünder is ein Knaller.
Okay.
Then the second one was called Isoliert. I also had the title before the pandemic, Isolated,
Yeah, nice.
which is a reference to the Spätzünder, to the late bloomer, because ISSO is late.
Yeah.
And I was isolated, as we all were in
The pandemics.
in the pandemic times. And then I thought, okay, it's the perfect time to use that title now and finally drop it. So that was 2020, 2 years after I dropped the first album. And after that, I came with the third one in 2022, I think. So every 2 years now, I think I released an album. It was called Lost in Translation, short LIT. There's also wordplay in it, like I spell it with slay, like to slay, to slaughter someone, and lost in translation because there are some songs on it which were rotting away on the hard drive, and I never released them. But I thought, hey, they're still cool. I still stand behind them when I put them out, and it's more my rougher stuff, because I also did some battle rap back in the days, like on the street, like really on the street, not this.
What was your battle rapper name?
Not for
Rabbit?
entertainment.
No.
I was always ISSO.
ISSO, okay.
ISSO. I added the agent later because more and more people used to say it. Almost became youth word of the year, and you say it, I think, also in the military. A lot of people named themselves ISSO. Suddenly there were 10 other ISSOs, and then some musicians which are signed at major labels, made a song with that name. And then if you type ISSO, you didn't find me anymore. So I had to add something. This is how I came up with the agent.
Nice.
I was thinking, okay, I'm answering 2 questions at the same time now, but I was thinking into the future and thinking like, okay, maybe in my life I will be in a different life situation, job wise. Eventually, I don't know where it takes me, but I'm sure I will still be rapping. I want to combine that, and want that it fits together still. And maybe I have to wear a suit for or like whatever for work, and if I come off work in my Feierabend, and after I finish work, I maybe need to go somewhere to a hip hop party and perform there.
Okay.
But if life time is tight, and if I don't have time to change, I'm still in the working clothes. And I need to make that fit together. So I became the agent that I can hop on stage with a suit too, or whatever, with any outfit, in any role, it always fits. So then I became the agent.
That's nice though.
Yeah, and Lost in Translation, to come back to that quickly, I put some old battle rap stuff on there too, and it's a symbiosis with the fourth album. I actually wanted to release them right after another, but didn't happen that smoothly. I mean, that quickly. But it's a little bit like I cannot stand behind every word anymore, because in that times I went through a lot and did like some shit, like everybody goes through
like
some shit in their life at some point. And so it's I don't know if it's like completely PC, but I definitely grew out of it, and I wanted that you can see the development of me as an artist. And maybe you hear something there on that release, and you say, I criticize that. That's not cool to say, and I agree. It's not cool to say, but whatever.
It wasn't me though. It's just my. It's AI, you know. Again,
yeah. I mean, it's an art figure. It's
sometimes you say things, and then a few years later you say, I shouldn't have said that. But it's a part of your life, man. You can't go through life perfectly and say everything is always, I'm always right, everything is great, or whatever. It's not happening.
And I'm not proud of anything I said there, but I'm proud that I managed to put it into art and not do it to others.
Bars.
Yeah, as a coping mechanism. I'm proud that I didn't, physically attacked anyone, or So I put it into some songs with some battle rap and battle some my imaginary inner demons or whatever. And then I wanted to correct that a little bit, because hey, it's my third album and there's some weird things I say there. So I had to put out something meaningful, something vernünftig, some proper, decent, reasonable, calm, or like thought through
content,
thoughts. And therefore I made Sinvasion, and that's like the yin and yang, black and white, or the duality in these two albums. Yeah, now I have that out, and the next one will be more like also a collection of things in my environment, who's around me. Isotope, like it's like the word biotope in my isotope, the biotope of ISSO. And ISSO is dope, so I gotta put out more and show you what movie is running in my head.
Maybe you should hit up the plugin Isotope. You know Isotope?
Yeah, of course. But you write my artist name with 2 S.
I know, it doesn't matter. It's just
they
say it sounds like that, man. Just support me on that.
Yeah, people mistake it sometimes and call me ISO.
ISO, okay.
I'm not an ISO player. I'm a team player.
Okay, Isotope.
ISO.
Yeah, that's nice. That's how I saved your name in my phone. It's just like
ISO.
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 Agent ISO.
Yeah, so correctly.
Yeah, I forget your real name because of that.
Anton.
Anton, yeah. You know how I can remember Anton?
You're Jear in real life, right?
Yeah, it's Jear Perry, yeah. Even though I have, it's written on my passport different, and I have...
How's it written there?
Is when my parents came to Germany, my actual name is pronounced Jear, with a J. But no one can pronounce the J except maybe the French people.
I'm not French and I don't speak any French, but I can say Jear.
Many people cannot. Anyhow, Jear. It's with a light R at the end. Jear.
Jear sounds more like with an I as a second letter, as the vowel.
No, it's J.
But it's still the E.
No, it's J, E, and then A, and then R.
All right, I think I got it. Jear.
Yeah, Jear. So, but no one can pronounce it. So when my people came, when my parents came to Germany, they were like, okay, this is the name. How should we write it? And the guy who was a translator there, he wrote it with a Z.
Mm.
So when I went to school, everyone was calling me Tia. I was like, what the fuck?
That's messed up, man.
That's messed up though, yeah. And also we have a few last names because back then with Saddam Hussein and everything, the war was different politically. So we have a few last names. So when we had the chance to get the German passport, and they were like, okay, which last name are you gonna pick? Because yeah, in Germany you have just one. Because me, I have I think 5 or so. So I had to write them always down. Since I have the German passport now, I don't know how long. I think since 2006 or whatever. And they said, okay, now you have to pick one name. And at that time, I went to that place with my brother. His first name is Assad.
Like freedom.
No, Assad is the lion. Azad
Lion?
is the freedom. There's two
you
different
write it,
things.
You write it differently.
Yeah,
With a Z, it's freedom, and with 2 S, it's
is a lion.
So the President Assad.
Yeah, there's a lion.
He's called Lion. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense that his name is freedom, right?
No, it's not.
I didn't want to go politically.
So yeah, it was also before the President Assad. So everything was peaceful with the name. So my brother is a football player, and then he was like, it would be so cool if we picked the name Assad. So then the commentator would say Assad just shot a goal or whatever. So we went with that name. And at that time, everything was in peace. Like, and then a few years later, like the President Assad came in, and when I was searching for a flat, they were like, "Oh no, we cannot give you a flat or whatever for whatever reasons." Once I changed the name to Perry, I got so many offers for flats. It was unbelievable. But yeah, the real name is
Crazy.
Jear Perry, just pronounced a bit different. And coming back to that, so now remember how to remember your first name. You know Pokemon, right? Pokemon.
Pokemon. Yeah, for sure.
There's the duck in it, Anton.
Strong Pokemon. Strong.
Anton. Yeah, now I can keep the name.
Yeah. If some people who speak English, they mispronounce it because you say A to the letter A.
Exactly.
And then
Yeah.
you say Anton, but it's wrong actually.
Yeah, I know.
Because Anton, the Pokemon, you write with an E.
Yeah.
And you also don't speak my name in English. Anton, it
But
would be
it's a bridge
Anthony.
for my brain, though.
It would be Anthony
Yeah.
in my name in English. But in German, it's like you say the A in British English, school English.
Okay.
Like Anton with A.
Okay. But you're fully blood German, right?
Like I said, potato, foreigner.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah, I'm German, but I grew up in a district with a lot of foreigners. So I think in my ground school class, I don't know if that's right, but either more than the half or almost the half or the half, more than the half were foreigners. Yeah. So pretty much all my friends are from all over the place.
Okay. One other question is, how's your relationship within the family, and do you have any siblings?
I have 2 older brothers. I'm
brothers.
very blessed. You could say privileged, I guess. I'm very happy and glad about that. My family is
Close.
how do you say, complete or together.
Yeah.
My parents are still married, still living together, and happy with each other, and we have lots of contact to my 2 brothers. They're both married. One of my brothers has 2 kids now.
Nice. So you're an uncle.
I'm a godfather.
Okay. Uncle Anton.
Yeah, Uncle Anton. Yeah. Uncle. yeah, that hit me in my 30s. I turned 30, and
Okay.
suddenly in the same week I become uncle, and then in the same week, 1 week later, I get the letter by my health insurance, and they say they double the price, and I'm like, fuck! I thought I can, you see this number coming,
Yeah.
30, and then you're like, yeah, easy,
Yeah.
30 is the new whatever, and you're like, I'm not gonna be complain about getting old or whatever.
Yeah, until the state hits
Then
you with
it
some
hit
numbers.
you like a train. No, it doesn't. It didn't. But
No, I mean like money wise, it hits you. Doesn't affect you, your mind, your body, whatever.
It's
But like they say, we
it's
want
not
more
too
money.
bad. I'm actually I don't really use it yet much. The health system. I'm happy that my body still works so well.
Great.
But I think it's a good thing that we have this health system developed so big around here. And yeah, I have good relationships with my family, and
That's
I'm very
nice,
happy
though.
about that.
That's great.
How's it about you?
I think I also have said it in the first one. I have two brothers. One of them is 1 year younger, and the other one is, I think, 3 or 4 years younger. And I have an older sister. Peaceful. Everything is great. We are in good relationships. They live in, Krefeld.
Yeah.
Yeah, they live there. My sister moved back to Kurdistan, and yeah, we're still all like, we're going back once in a year to Kurdistan just to see the whole family because I have 90% of the family living over there,
Okay.
like uncles and aunts and so on and so forth. So it's a good thing. It's always a different vibe when you're with the family. Growing up, it was a bit harder because like I was the artist in the family, so I was constantly doing something. For my father, it was just a hobby. My sister was a cleaning freak, so she threw everything away that I wasn't supposed to be on the floor. So
Yeah.
I had a lot of paintings that I did, and then I left them there to dry. And my sister was like, when I came home, it wasn't there anymore. I was like, what happened to it? She was like, I thought it was garbage. So it was funny though. Like back then, I was so mad at her, but then growing up, I was like, okay, this is how my sister is. And then she was like, this is now your room. Just do whatever you want to do in your room. I don't care about your room, but the rest of the place has to be clean. Oh, okay, good.
Sure.
It's always fun with it.
No, I'm.
And now sorry for interrupting you. Now the funny thing is, uh, a few years later, my sister like has two children, and they started to be like that in the beginning. And I'm laughing at my sister. I was like, see, now you're getting back revenge from God. Too funny. Well, how old are the children of your brother?
1 and 2.
Nice.
No,
Okay.
not even 1. Like first year and
Kindergarten.
no, not yet.
Oh, okay.
She's 2, and he is not even 1.
Now you have to play them your music, man.
Yeah, I mean, they live in South Germany, so I have some way to see them.
Okay.
But always good to see them.
Yeah, definitely.
We
Family is
call,
always good, man.
We call often.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm really happy that I think I can say I come from a good family, but I grew up in a very rough place. Like that's the contrast. I guess I'm very privileged for growing up in that house, and then people wonder how does it come that you rap like you rap, and you are like you are, like a bit
Because it was
unusual.
peace at home, yeah.
A bit unusual that somebody has so many foreign friends and I mean contributes to the hip hop culture, which is not coming from
Usually
Europe,
peaceful, yeah.
not coming from a white culture, and yeah, and I think that comes from that I grew up in that district, and with all these circumstances, there was a lot of violence, a lot of drugs going around in that place there, and I have many stories to tell.
Wow.
And
Maybe we can do it next time.
yeah,
Because
no,
on the-
we don't need to go deeper into like
Because on that
you
good
can
note with the family, we have to end it.
you can listen to
Unfortunately.
listen to the songs online of Jear Perry. You will hear about your stories,
Exactly.
or
Yeah.
war also, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can listen to my music, Agent ISSO, Agent
Exactly.
ISSO,
Look into the cam and say the last words, man.
and yeah,
Oh,
you will
this cam.
hear more and more. You will hear more and more of my stories if you listen to my music. I hope you give it a shot, and thank you for having me. It was a
Thank you
very
for
nice
being
talk.
here, man. I'm happy to have you here. And yeah, on that note, we're gonna finish this one right now and go to the next.
Dealing with pain and obsession.
Thank you.
Why do we lie? Why do we
That's how it's
try
supposed
to
to
hide
sound.
everything until the day we die?